Look at the house you live in. Look at the gold you have hidden for your family's legacy. You think they are yours because you have the keys. You are wrong. Ownership is an illusion. In 1933, they took the gold. In 2026, they are coming for the land. Your life's work is being liquidated by a single pen stroke. This is the Great Confiscation. If they can reach it, they already own it. But there is one place they cannot touch, one secret they cannot break, and your time to find it is running out. I am Arnold, and today I am not here to tell you a story. I am here to give you a survival map for a world that is disappearing right beneath your feet. For years, you have been told that your home is your castle. You have been told that the gold you bought with your hard-earned sweat is yours to keep forever. You believe that the laws of this country are designed to protect your hard work. But listen to me closely and look into my eyes. History is a cold, hard teacher, and history is about to repeat itself with a vengeance you are not prepared for. Let us go back to the year 1933. It was a quiet morning in April. The Great Depression was suffocating the nation. People were tired, they were hungry, and they were scared. They looked to the government for help, and on April 5th, the help arrived, in the form of a pen stroke, Executive Order 6102. With one signature, the President of the United States did the unthinkable. He didn't just tax the people. He didn't just ask for a loan. He turned millions of honest, hard-working Americans into criminals overnight. Why? Because they committed the crime of owning gold. They committed the crime of trying to save their own future. Think about the shock, the betrayal. Imagine waking up and realizing that the gold coins you inherited from your father, the bars you saved for your children, were now illegal to possess. The government told you it was for the common good. They told you it was a national emergency. They told you it was your patriotic duty to hand over your sovereignty for $20.67 an ounce. And then, as soon as they had your gold, they devalued the dollar. They stole the purchasing power of every citizen while they were still holding their receipts. Fast forward to today, 2026. Do you smell the air? Do you feel the tension in the financial markets? The same shadow that moved across the doorsteps of your grandfathers is moving again. But this time, the shadow is digital. The mainstream media is talking about the convenience of new digital currencies. The bankers are smiling, telling you how safe your money is in the system, but they are hiding the truth. The new system is not a service. It is a digital fence. And once that fence is closed, the trap is set. In 1933, they had to go door to door. They had to rely on people's honesty or fear. In 2026, they don't need to knock. They have your GPS coordinates. They have your tax records. They have the digital trail of every ounce of gold you ever bought on an exchange. They have the blockchain record of every asset you own. You think your land is safe? You think the soil you stand on, that has been in your family for generations, belongs to you? Look at the fine print of the new emergency laws. In a global financial collapse, your land is just collateral on a government balance sheet. They will call it a National Recovery Act. They will call it a wealth stabilization tax. They will use many beautiful words to describe one ugly thing: theft. They cannot print their way out of this debt anymore. The numbers are too big. The system is broken. And when the bill comes due, they are not going to pay it. You are. They are coming for the only real things left in this world. They are coming for the tangible wealth, the gold, and the land. Because they know that if you own the land and you own the gold, you are a free man. And a free man is the only thing a collapsing system cannot control. I have seen the panic in the eyes of men who thought they were safe. I have seen safety deposit boxes sealed without warning. I have seen protected land suddenly seized for public safety. The walls are closing in. But hear me, because this is where the story changes. The elites, the ones who write these laws, they don't store their primary wealth in Washington. They don't keep their family legacies in New York banks. They know the trap better than anyone, because they built it. They have a secret, a place that has survived world wars, empires, and every confiscation of the last 200 years. A place where the laws of a single president cannot reach. A place where sovereignty is not just a word, but a reality. I am going to show you that place. I am going to show you the crack in the wall, because you have a choice to make, right now. You can be the prey, or you can be the man who saw the storm coming and moved his family to higher ground. The Great Confiscation has begun. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Stay with me, because in the next part, I am going to show you exactly how the digital lasso is being tightened and how the trap is being hidden behind your phone screen. The time for waiting is over. Now, let us talk about the lasso, the digital lasso that is being wrapped around your neck while you are distracted by the headlines. They call it a central bank digital currency, a CBDC. The media tells you it is for efficiency. They tell you it is to fight inflation. But I am here to tell you the truth. A CBDC is not money. It is a ledger of every breath you take and every asset you own. You think your gold is safe? Because it is physical. You think your land is safe? Because it is solid. But in the new world, nothing is solid if it is not tagged in their system. Think about this closely. How do they take your gold without kicking down your door? They do it through the programmable squeeze. Imagine waking up and your digital wallet has a new rule. A rule that says you cannot pay your property taxes unless you prove the source of your wealth. A rule that says if you hold unregistered physical assets, your social credit score drops to 0. Suddenly, your gold bars are not wealth. They are a liability. You cannot sell them for digital dollars because the system will flag the transaction. You cannot use them to buy food because the merchant only accepts the CBDC, and the CBDC knows where the money came from. This is the silent confiscation. They don't need to take the gold from your hand if they can make that gold useless in the economy. They will force you to bring it to them. They will offer you a fair price in digital tokens, but only if you surrender it by a certain deadline. And then, there is the land, your farm, your family estate. You think because the deed is in your name, you are the master of the soil. But look at the new climate laws. Look at the carbon credit systems being built into the CBDC. What happens when the government decides that your land is inefficient? What happens when they implement a land use tax that must be paid in a specific digital currency that they can pause at any moment? They are creating an environment where owning physical property becomes too expensive to keep. They will squeeze you with regulations. They will squeeze you with digital fines until you are forced to sell. And who will be the only buyer left? The system. They need your land because they cannot print more soil. They need your gold because they need to back the new digital empire with something real after they destroyed the dollar. This is the asset revaluation they don't want you to hear about. They are prepared to devalue the digital money in your phone while they revalue the physical assets they took from you. It is the greatest wealth transfer in the history of mankind. And while you are worried about your bank account, they are building the infrastructure to map every square inch of your backyard and every ounce of your silver into their global database. If you think this sounds like a movie, you are not paying attention. The technology is already live. The laws are already being drafted. The trap is being set, while you are still trying to play by the old rules. But remember, a trap only works if you are inside the fence. In the next part, I'm going to show you why they are so desperate for these specific assets. I'm going to show you the target list and why your silver, your gold, and your acreage are the only things standing between them and total control. Don't move, because the stakes just got a lot higher. Have you ever wondered why the very people telling you that gold is a relic of the past are the ones buying it by the ton? Have you ever wondered why billionaire elites are buying up millions of acres of American farmland while telling you that the future is virtual? They are not confused. They are preparing. And you are the target. Let us look at the target list. Why gold and why land? In a world of infinite printing and digital lies, the system has a fatal flaw. It has no anchor. The trillion-dollar debts, the fake digital wealth, it is all a house of cards built on a foundation of wind. But to reset the system, to launch their new digital empire, they need a physical anchor. They need something real to back their new lie. That anchor is your gold. Gold is the only asset in human history that has no counterparty risk. It doesn't require a bank to exist. It doesn't require a power grid to have value. It is the ultimate reset button. When the currency dies, gold remains. The central banks know this. That is why they are hoovering up every ounce they can find, while they keep you distracted with the stock market casino. They don't want you to own gold, because gold makes you an independent state. Gold means they cannot inflate your hard work away. Gold means you have the power to say no. And then there is the land. They are coming for the land, because land is the ultimate game board. You think you own your property, because you have a piece of paper in a file cabinet. But to the system, your land is underutilized collateral. They need your land for the new infrastructure. They need it for the massive carbon capture projects, the renewable energy grids, and the controlled smart cities of the future. But they don't want to buy it from you at a fair price. They want to reclaim it. They will use a term you need to memorize: eminent domain. In the old days, they used it to build a highway. In 2026, they will use it for environmental safety or economic stabilization. They will argue that for the survival of the nation, the land must be managed by the experts. They are targeting the middle-class landowner, because you are the last bastion of true American independence. If you own the soil, you can grow your own food. If you own the soil, you have a place to stand that they do not control. They want to turn us into a nation of renters, renting our money from the central bank, renting our homes from the mega corporations, renting our very lives from the state. This is the great leveling. They want to strip away the physical anchors of the family legacy so that everyone is equally dependent on the digital feed. Look at the target list again: gold and land. These are not just investments. They are the twin pillars of human sovereignty. If they take the gold, they control your past savings. If they take the land, they control your future existence. They are desperate. The system is starving for real assets to stay alive. And they are looking at your backyard, and you're safe as their buffet. But there is a flaw in their plan. They can only seize what they can legally reach. They can only target what is trapped within their jurisdiction. I've seen the charts. I've read the closed-door reports. The elites are not storing their reset gold in New York vaults. They are not putting their family legacies in domestic trusts that a single judge can overrule. They are moving, and you should be too. In the next part, I am going to show you the legal mirage. I am going to show you why your current protections, your lawyers, and your domestic banks are actually part of the trap. Stay with me, because the truth about your safety is the most dangerous thing you will ever hear. I've told you what they want. Now, I'm going to show you how they've already convinced you that you're safe, while they hold the knife behind their back. You feel safe, don't you? You feel safe because you have a lawyer in a sharp suit. You feel safe because you have a domestic asset protection trust. You believe that the Constitution is a physical wall that the government cannot climb over. But let me tell you a secret that they don't teach you in law school. In the eyes of a hungry system, your trust is just a napkin. Welcome to the Legal Mirage. Most of you have fallen into the single jurisdiction trap. You live in America, you work in America, your bank is in America, and your assets are held under American law. This means that you have a single point of failure. Think about this closely. If the hand that writes the law is the same hand that wants your gold, who is going to stop them? Your local bank manager? Your lawyer? No. They will be the first ones to comply. I've seen how this works. When a national emergency is declared, the rules of the game don't just change, they disappear. In 1933, the banks didn't fight for their customers. They closed their doors, and they handed over the records. In 2026, they won't even need to close the doors. They will just update the software. You think your safety deposit box is a private sanctuary? Read the fine print of your bank contract. It is not a vault. It is a rental space that can be sealed by a federal agent without a warrant in a time of crisis. And then there is the illusion of the domestic trust. Many experts tell you to put your land and your gold into an LLC or a family trust. They tell you it is protected. But here's what they aren't telling you. If the judge, the lawyer, and the asset are all inside the same fence, the fence can be electrified at any time. A single court order, a single executive decree can pierce that trust, like a needle through a balloon. Why? Because your assets are still reachable. The government doesn't need to prove you did something wrong. They only need to declare that your assets are needed for the stability of the dollar. They call it a bail-in. They call it mandatory contribution. If you store your gold in a domestic vault, the government knows exactly where it is. If you own your land through a domestic entity, they have the keys to the digital lock. You are standing in a burning building, and you think you are safe because you locked the internal doors. But the building is owned by the same people who started the fire. The elites understand this. That is why they never keep their survival capital in the same country where they hold their political power. They know that true protection requires a jurisdictional firebreak. They know that you must put a border between your wealth and the people who want to seize it. They have convinced you that moving your wealth abroad is risky. They have convinced you that keeping everything at home is patriotic. But while they tell you that, they are quietly moving their own foundations to a place that has not fallen for 1,000 years. You are being lied to by the very people you pay to protect you. Your bank is not your friend. Your domestic trust is not a shield. It is a target. The walls are not just closing in, they are already touching your shoulders. But there is one place that operates under a different set of physics. A place where the law of the Great Confiscation has no power. A place where the word ownership actually means what you think it means. Stay with me, because in the final part, I am going to stop talking about the trap, and I am going to show you the way out. I am going to show you the Swiss secret. It is time to stop being a victim of the mirage. It is time to find the real ground. We have walked through the fire together. We have seen the shadows of 1933, the digital lasso of the CBDCs, and the legal mirage that keeps you trapped in a burning building. Now, it is time for the solution. Welcome to the final chapter of this Fiscal Folklore Masterclass. There is a reason why for over 700 years, one small nation in the heart of Europe has remained untouched by the madness of the world. While empires rose and fell, and while every major government on earth seized the assets of its citizens, Switzerland stood still. This is not a coincidence. This is the Swiss secret. At Fiscal Folklore, we don't just study history, we show you how to survive it. The secret is not about a bank account. It is about jurisdictional sovereignty. In the United States, or the European Union, your private property is a privilege granted by the state. In Switzerland, private property is a sacred right, protected by a constitution built to defy dictators and resist confiscation. When the Great Confiscation begins in Washington, their laws stop at the Swiss border. A federal agent, or a midnight signature by a president, has no power over a vault deep inside a Swiss mountain. But you must be careful. The big Swiss banks are part of the global system. They will comply, they will freeze, they will betray. The real Swiss secret, which we have spent years uncovering here at Fiscal Folklore, involves 3 ironclad steps. First, jurisdictional diversification. You must move your legal center of gravity outside of the reach of the people who want to seize it. You need a structure governed by Swiss neutrality, not political whims. Second, physicality, not paper gold, not digital certificates. You need physical bars with your name on them, held in private, non-bank, high-security vaults. These vaults are not part of the banking system. They cannot be bailed in. And third, the fire break. You must ensure that the people who guard your wealth have no connection to the people who regulate your life. A fire break that ensures that even if the world outside goes dark, your legacy remains in the light. The elites are not waiting for an emergency broadcast. They have already moved their anchors. They have already secured their soil and their gold in the only jurisdiction that has never blinked in the face of tyranny. Imagine the peace of mind. Imagine waking up to a headline that the banks are closed and your neighbors are losing 40% of their net worth in a single day. But you just pour your coffee. You look at your family and you smile because you followed the map, because you found the mountain. Your gold is safe. Your land is protected. Your children's future is no longer a debt instrument for a failing state. This is the mission of Fiscal Folklore: to keep you sovereign, to keep you free. The gate is closing. The digital fence is being electrified as we speak. You have a very narrow window to act before the legal mirage becomes a permanent prison. Don't wait for the official announcement. By then, it will be too late. I have placed the link to our specialized report in the pinned comment below. It is the roadmap to the Swiss secret, the same protection that the world's most powerful families have used for centuries. Your legacy is your responsibility, not the government's, not the bank's, yours. Be the man who protected his family. Be the woman who secured the future. Subscribe to Fiscal Folklore now and join the elite few who refuse to be victims. Stay sovereign. Stay protected. This is the voice of Fiscal Folklore, and I will see you on the high ground.